Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Between Two Brokers. It's Schmoopy time. Whoa.
Are those things loosening up?
Felt that. Anyway, Schmoopy is not having the best day because a bird shit on her this morning, apparently.
Yep. As I was rubbing the crick out of my neck, it shit on me right here.
Oh, it would have been funny if it shit where you were rubbing. And then you would have gotten it all in your hands and your hair and everything. What kind of bird was it? Did you see it?
Yeah, it was one of those waxwing...
have no idea.
Crescent waxwings. And they're like flooding. Right? It was like, I was looking up and I was like, what in the Alfred Hitchcock is going on right now? There's birds everywhere.
Anyway, listener, it's your lucky day because you were the lucky person that got picked from our inbox, podcast@smithspencer.com. Thank you so much for writing in. I am a single 32 going on 33-year-old woman who is curious about planning for my future.
She's also good at math. Sorry.
All of my friends are buying homes and properties, and I feel like I'm falling behind and don't quite know where to begin. Any advice? Yours truly, real estate illiterate gal.
Yeah, I have a lot of advice, but it involves like a lot of back and forth conversation.
We need more details, lady.
Yeah.
What do we tell you when you write into podcast@smithspencer.com? We need the balances of all your bank accounts, all your mental health issues,
relationship stat,
annual salary.
Single? Come on. Remember.
We know she says single, right? Single, 32 going on 33.
Yeah. What do you do for work? I don't know.
I'm 16 going on 7. Anyway, I know everybody wanted to hear me sing.
Hold on, producer what?
Call Bill Payne first.
Oh, thank you.
You want to start by getting involved with a mortgage guy.
Named Bill Payne. 843-532-1392.
Whoa. Stacy.
I've had that number memorized for 18 years.
Yeah,
I say it every single day.
You know how much you can afford.
Yeah.
And that's where I would start.
That is step number 1. Okay. So anyway, let's get back into it. Obviously, we love hearing ourselves talk because we just got out of an interview. So it is good to hear your voice and mine. All right. Let's see where to begin. So begin with Bill Payne and see what he says. If he tells you that you're not ready or you can't afford what you want, don't get discouraged. You know, like I think right now, the way that the market is and interest rates are, buyers who could afford a single family home maybe a year ago or 2 years ago are having to look at condos. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. Everybody has heard me on the podcast say, I've owned a lot of condos. There are a lot of caveats I have about purchasing a condo, but they're more affordable. So I think that you just have to weigh, like if you're a single woman, you may not want to take care of a house in a yard. That's very expensive. So a condo might be a great move for you right now. So I think where people get in trouble is they have this idea in their head of like, I want a house, right? And they picture this cute little white cottage in the old village. And that's where it is. And they can afford it and everything. And then when Bill Payne tells them, okay, like your budget is $250,000. So what? Okay. How many years ago? 5 years ago, I lived in the literally the cheapest townhouse in Mount Pleasant. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So my boyfriend bought a townhouse. It was $150,000 or something like that. And everybody thinks I'm so schmancy. And I'm telling you, that is where I lived. And that was where the circumstances of my life led me. And I was totally happy and it was totally fine for the time being. And then when I felt like it was going to be a more long-term thing and I had a little bit more money and I was a little bit more comfortable, we moved into a house that was $450,000. And then the next house was $630,000. So it's like you have this hang up between what you want in your mind, and like, you know, the Disney palace because you're Cinderella or whatever, and then what Bill Payne tells you can afford, and you're like, oh my God, I'm such a loser. Just buy something.
Yeah. And also, as a single woman, this makes me think of one of my clients who's a single woman, and she, I don't know, 6 years ago, she wanted to sell her townhouse and move into, she loved Park Circle, and so she wanted to move into a house in there. Well, she is not handy. She's, I will say, a little frugal, and, you know, the house was too much for her to keep up. It was an older home, and, you know, it was constantly something with the roof or the plumbing or this or that. And she called me at the end of last year and said, I want to go back to a townhouse. She's still single, you know, and fortunately she made a lot of money on living in that house in Park Circle for 2 years, and it financially worked out really well for her. But I think a condo or a townhome that is pretty easy maintenance wise is a good idea for a single woman. Let's say that Bill says that you are ready to buy. You know, not that I would like rush into buying the first thing, but I would go ahead and do it because, first, we've talked about how much of a waste of money rent is, but people like during COVID, when prices were just appreciating so quickly, were like, I'm going to wait. Guess how many people waited? And now that the market is somewhat normalizing, we're still not seeing prices come down. All those people that waited are now in this buyer pool. So the demand hasn't changed. You know, like, you're not the only one who said, I'm going to wait. So we're still seeing like a lot of demand out there. And so I waiting to me is just dumb.
Yeah.
You're paying somebody else's mortgage. Go ahead and buy.
I totally agree, because she says she's illiterate. The only way that she's going to gain any kind of confidence is through experience. And it doesn't mean that you're going to hit a home run. Like, that is the problem, is that I think people hear these stories of people making money in real estate. It's your home. You have to pay for a place to live no matter what. Like, you have to quit attaching all of these grandiose ideas to it. It has to be a palace. I have to make $1 million on it. Forget all of that. You need a place to live, find something that fits your budget, and just go for it. And if you don't, like, I've owned so much real estate, and some of them I've done quite well on, and others I've lost money on. Like, you obviously don't win them all. I mean, it's just experience. So, you know, I say the other thing is you need to connect with a real estate agent who is going to hold your hand through all of this and give you the confidence that, of course, you don't have, because you don't have any experience. So find somebody that has the personality that is going to like kick you in the ass, because that's obviously what you need. That you respect, that you're gonna listen to, and who is really going to kind of balance your hesitation with their assertiveness.
Yeah, and if they don't sit down with you for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour the first time to like really figure out if this is the right move for you, it's not the right agent for you. Like, you need someone with experience, because it sounds like you got a lot going on. And if you're, what'd you say, real estate illiterate? Yeah. Then you don't need a new agent who, quite frankly, is also real estate illiterate.
Yeah, it's funny. I've had, you know, just from having some new listings and stuff pop up, within the first 10 seconds of a phone call, I can tell if I'm talking to a veteran or a new agent. The new agent, I'm not going to talk about it. It's glaringly obvious to me. So
if you're in the Charleston area, we'll happily sit down with you.
Absolutely. Contact Smith Spencer Real Estate if you know what's good for you. So I think I mean, any other advice that we can give her? Connect with a real estate agent and a lender, and that they're going to help get you to the solution, which is for you to move on something. Quit waiting. Quit hesitating. All right. That's all we have. Thank you so much for writing into podcast@smithspencer.com. We sincerely appreciate all of your questions and love solving all of your problems. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Give us 5 stars and tell all your friends. Find us at Between Two Brokers on Instagram and at Smith Spencer Charleston. Thank you.